She walked up the counter, which on top stood 5 strands, and with the brochure and business cards were kept. Just the usual, please, darling. Of course, Miss Rarity, replied Lotus, who was opening the cash register. How have you been doing, dear Fluttershy? Oh, I've been doing just fine, Rarity. Just fine. That's good. Have you seen the animals lately? Yeah, poor Angel Bunny sprained his hind leg, and the poor thing's been in bed all day. How terrible! I do hope that he will be okay. Oh, he will. All he needs is love, care, and support from his animal friends. Speaking of friends, where has Twilight Sparkle been lately? Come to think of it, I haven't seen Rainbow Dash or Pinkie either. Have you any idea where they could be? Yeah, in hell, and you'll be joining them, thought Fluttershy, gruesome images of Rarity's death crossing her mind. No, I haven't, sorry. Well, okay then. I have this dress I really want you to try on. It's my latest project. Oh, wonderful. I would love to try it on. What is it like? Fluttershy and Rarity spent the next 2 hours of the massage talking about the dress, how they would fit her, whether it would go for sale, or if it should be presented at the Grand Galloping Gala. All the while, Fluttershy was thinking about all the ways she could painfully end Rarity's life. She thought about the slow dismemberment, but didn't want to go with it because of how messy it would be. She thought of suffocation, but again, fought against it because it wasn't messy or gruesome enough. So, she had to pull out one of the oldest techniques known to pony kind. Miss Rarity, our session is done. Would you like this special treatment like yesterday? Rarity blushed heavily, quickly glancing at Fluttershy, who just had a puzzled look on her face. Not today, Lotus. As you wish, Miss Rarity, then our session has concluded. Rarity got off the massage bed and walked over to the entrance, Fluttershy not far behind. Rarity, may I show you something? Sure thing, dear, as long as it doesn't take long. I want to get this dress on you as soon as possible. Fluttershy and Rarity walked along the path back to Fluttershy's shack. Rarity noticed it was getting darker and darker, and that Fluttershy had lead her off the track and into the old tall trees that surrounded the path. Fluttershy dear, where are we going? Actually, where were you meant to show me? You'll see soon enough, replied Fluttershy, menace in her tone. Okay, dear, if you say so. They walked what seemed like hours through the tall trees and spiky plants with the poison joke that was starting to spread. They finally arrived at the clearing in the forest, where clearly 2 holes had been dug. One was filled, but the other was not. Oh, Sky Black. Always the forgetful one, huh? Thought Fluttershy, as just a tad annoyed. Here, Rarity, this is what I want to show you. A hole? You wanted to show me a hole? No, come closer. Look inside the hole. Rarity looked towards the hole, a grin appearing on Fluttershy's face, getting wider by the second. Rarity finally reached the hole and peered into it. Darling, I can't really see any... Rarity just stopped. Stopped speaking, stopped moving, stopped breathing, stopped everything. Is the dad Pinkie? Sure it is, Rarity. You're next. Rarity saw that Pinkie was bleeding from it between her hind legs. What kind of horrible monster would do this? My best friend would, Rarity. That was the last thing Rarity has ever heard, for a while anyway. Fluttershy dragged Rarity's knocked-out body deeper into the forest towards an old wheel device that she had found while looking for a hurt bird. She reached it 2 hours later, lifted Rarity's body onto the device, strapped her onto it, and waited. She waited for about 3 more hours before Rarity came to. The white unicorn looked around frantically, taking in her surroundings, and more so what she was strapped to. Well, where am I? A little place I like to call Equestria's Hell. Rarity looked around again, and this time she fully took her surroundings, and she saw that there were 3 other wheels, like the one she was strapped to. She looked back at Fluttershy, who now had a sledgehammer in her grip. What were you doing, Fluttershy? Okay, I guess I shall explain what will happen. Fluttershy dropped the sledgehammer on the ground and sat down on the small chair next to the wheel that Rarity was strapped to. Okay, so you can see you're obviously strapped to a wheel, but this isn't any ordinary wheel. This is an executioner's wheel. If you look at the other wheels around you, you will see they have very small but strong spokes. These spokes work according to where the victim's limbs are placed. When you strap the victim to the wheel, the limbs must be covering the gaps so that the bones break properly when I hit it. I think you know what that follows. No, 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 no! Help! Please stop, Brony! Ah! Fluttershy hit Rarity's lower jaw with the sledgehammer, shattering the majority of it. Shut up! Fluttershy went over and hauled out tree trunk, from where she took out the glove of some sort. She walked over to Rarity, who was covering from the hit of the jaw, and put it over her horn. No more magic for you, Rarity. She picked up the sledgehammer from where it was resting and lifted high. Now, Rarity, this is gonna hurt a lot. Then, with all of her might, she slammed the hammer in front of the knee and in front of the victim. Rarity's eyes went wide with horror as a little more than a squeak left her mouth. Her leg had snapped and splintered in almost 9 different places. Her leg burst wide open, blood pouring from her bone jutting out. Fluttershy lifted the hammer again and hit Rarity's leg harder. Fluttershy kept on smashing the hammer into Rarity's front leg, until crunching and snapping turned into squishing and squelching. Blood and bone shattered shards all littered the floor. Fluttershy finally stopped and she looked over at Rarity's leg, but there was nothing really to look at. All was left of it was a pile of blood, flesh and bone. Fluttershy lifted the hammer again, and this time she aimed for the forehead. She slammed it down with all of her strength, and when the hammer struck, Rarity's skull caved in. Her skull fragments cave inwards, piercing her brain, which killed her instantly. Aw, I was hoping to have some more fun with you. She stood up onto the wheel and gripped the sledgehammer like a golf club. She took a few practice swings so she could get used to swinging something that's heavy. 4! Fluttershy swung and hit Rarity's horn, which came off with a sickening snap. The horn went flying, and it went so far that Fluttershy couldn't even see it anymore. She brought the hammer back down and then let it beneath Rarity's chin. 4! Again! She swung the hammer with all of her might and hit Rarity's chin with a tremendous force. All this did was to get the hammer stuck in her jaw. Oh, god damn it. She ripped the hammer out, and this time she aimed with just a bit lower and going for the lower jaw. 4! Oh, ow, my throat hurts. She swung a third time and hit directly where she wanted. This had caused the head to jerk violently, hard enough to rip open the front of her throat. Her windpipe wagging about wildly. She quickly swung again, and this time her head disconnected entirely. It flew about 45 meters and then landed, but it didn't stop rolling until another 10 meters, leaving a trail of blood behind it. About damn time I got a hit in, Fluttershy said to herself. Okay, Applejack, you're going to be hard to kill. I gotta gear up. Fluttershy flew back home to where Owlicious was tearing a mouse's head off. Fluttershy flew inside and went down to her basement. She went to a part of the wall which seemed to stay clean and pulled out a key hidden under a cloth. She pushed the key into the keyhole on the other side of the room, and the other part of the wall, as always, seemed to clean, open to reveal an armory. Her armory was so full of weapons, it was like preparing for a World War III. She walked in and grabbed a belt that had enough sleeves and attached 2 katanas, 5 shurikens, and 2 daggers. She kitted up and grabbed in a few extra shurikens, and a prototype magnum she had been working on. She called it Butterfly. Okay, Applejack, let's put you to the test, shall we?
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Ms. Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.